Hi, it's Wayne O'Keefe, and I'm about to show you a video of a very short fishing session I had on the Goulburn River. Now, the thing that is interesting about this is that even though I was catching Australian natives, they were responding to burley. And if you've seen any of my other videos before, you'll know that I'm a big believer in using burley. The standard rig that I use is simply is like this, is a running weight, this is the burley cage here, which also, as you can see, it's got weight on it. It's my sinker. I put burley in that as I cast it out. The fish can actually pull a line through it as they can on any standard running weight line, and that really helps with catching those fish. But the burley itself is a thing that attracts the fish so that they take your bait. Now this is just, I'm using 5 kilo line, I'm using a size 8 hook. I don't usually go up in line quite that heavy, but on the Goulburn River you can catch fish of all sizes, and so there's cod in there, there's Australian natives, and there's some very big carp. So you've got to have a little bit of grunt in there, but I've also noticed that if I use very heavy line, I don't get near as many bites. So you have to weigh up getting bites against sometimes losing the occasional fish. Some of which happened on the day. I guess the other thing is that the distance between that hook and that weight, which is all determined by where I put this line stopper here, which is just a barrel with a plug in it, that when you remove the plug, and these things are hard to remove at times, so in just removing that plug you can actually move that barrel up and down, so you can determine how far your weight is from your hook. But the burley on the day really made the difference. So that was interesting. That setup really worked. Now you can have a look at this session, and in particular why it was cut short. Well, the water is flowing pretty fast today, and so it's a little bit harder to actually find the best spots. But what I've done is, where I'm casting to, I found a little bit of slack water right on the edge of fast water, so I'm casting to those points. We'll just see how we go in waters that are higher than normal and faster than normal. So when they're faster, they're going to be pushing fish into different places. Sometimes areas that I know that fish well may change just simply because of the flow of water. But I'll try this. If that doesn't work, I'll try something else. Maybe even have to try another spot. Well, I just made a rookie mistake. I got here and I'd been casting in, getting my burley in place, and then each time I forgot my normal hand towels. So I always have these in the wipes, these wipes in the car. These are a hygienic wipe. They're strongly scented, and they've got some sort of disinfectant in it. I was wiping my hands with it every time I touched the burley, which means that every time I touched the burley and my bait, I was putting the scent of this stuff on. Big mistake. So I've stopped using that, and I'll just wash my hands in the water and keep it that way. I will never get a bite if I use something like that. So important to know. If you're going to use something, use a blank hand towel, something that is neutral, has no disinfectant, no scent in it, and at least that way you won't be scaring off the fish when they get near your bait. Well, I got one. Saw it hit a couple of times, but I didn't think it was a fish. Not big at all. Oh, and it's a silver perch. Okay, so first fish of the day is a nice little silver perch. I'd seen the bites before. It had been hitting and then missing, and because they got quite small mouths, I've got a size 8 hook. It was able to be pulling the bait and getting away, but this time hooked him. Okay, good to see fish in this water, so I'll keep going for these. The worms are really working, and these are garden worms, not scrub worms. So Nice one to add to the list. Well, this one caught me by surprise while I was baiting up. And it's it's another silver perch, and a bit better size than that last one too. Wow, I was just baiting up, and the other rod just went right over. So look at that, nice little silver perch there. This one's bigger than the last one. Beautiful little fish on those garden worms, and of course the burley working, doing its job. That's not bad. Very happy about that. It's interesting, I hadn't got any bites at all when I started. The first thing was that I was using that scented towel, so I stopped using that. And the other thing is that I might have got a bite. I'm not sure if it was that or it was some of the stuff floating in the water, but I've been casting to one spot. I cast just a touch further out, and I'm talking about 1.5 meters, maybe 2 meters further out than I had been casting with my burley, and I started to get bites from that, and that's when I got some silver perch. I got a carp. It's interesting the way that it works, that sometimes it's not the specific area, like the perfect food gathering area was a little bit further out. So that made a difference. So sometimes it's worth casting to different spots around your target zone just to see if either it's a better spot generally, or there might be a big fish waiting out there, because sometimes the bigger fish, if there's little fish activity, won't come in straight away. They're wise, they seem to watch out and hold off. Anyway, this worked today. Well, I've had a bit of a disaster. I was about 5 paces away from one of my rods, and I got a huge hit on it. It came out of the rod holder into the water. I stepped forward to just grab the butt of it as it went into the water, and I slipped. I got my rod back, that's good, but now I look and smell like a wet sack. I'm covered in mud and drenched. Thankfully, my phone is there and wasn't in my pocket, which is where it normally is. So I'm going to have to call it quits today. I was meant to be meeting somebody, but now I'm going to have to go and shower off and get a change of clothes. So, exciting as this may have been, certainly has been refreshing. This is the end of my fishing for today.